The VIP Crew with Vivek Wallace and Big P. Percy Crawford.
The VIP Crew.
Michael, how's it going, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking. How we doing?
Absolutely, I'm doing well, brother. Lot of trash talk the other day on the conference call. How do you manage your emotions to where you're still fighting a guy who there's a little bit of disdain and dislike for, while staying within yourself?
It's not that hard. Like I've been training since I was like 14. Like before that, I was in karate since I was like 7 years old or something like that, give or take. So it's not really that hard. Like I said, the hardest part is being this far away from somebody, like on FaceTime, just talking shit. Like it seems silly to me. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't. It doesn't get under my skin whatsoever. At the end of the day, we're gonna go in the ring and fight. So that's all right.
yeah. It seemed like you got some good laughs off of it, and you was kind of taking it well. So I didn't know if that was just you holding the anger in, or that's just who you are.
No, it's like I said, it seems silly to me. Like it's crazy. Like you want to talk about this shit, we're gonna end up being in the ring regardless. Like you can't talk your way out of that.
Man, he downplayed your elbows, but you have some very, very nasty elbows. He's a come forward fighter, aggressive guy. Do you feel like his style plays to the things that you do well?
Correct. Yes, I believe so. I've been envisioning that. Like he's gonna come in straight into them. He's gonna come straight into them for sure. But like I told him, like it's cool. Like, you could tell. Hopefully you take 16, 17, as many as you want to take. That's fine. You could eat them all.
How is training for dirty boxing as opposed to, like you say, you were in karate, boxing, things like that? Do you train differently? Is the approach close to the same? How do you kind of train to get mentally and physically ready for dirty boxing?
Well, like I mentioned before, like my favorite sport is Muay Thai, so I've never strayed away from that. So it's a little bit different now that I can't set up my elbows with kicks and elbows and all that as how you do in Muay Thai. So the approach has been different by pretty much like canceling out the kicks and setting them up, trying to set it up with the boxing.
You touched on it
So
a
this
little bit.
this camp around has been more boxing based.
Is it a lot of inside fighting, or do you still work on distance because that's one of your stronger suits?
Oh, well, we work a lot on distance for sure, but we try to capitalize on the inside fighting, like immediate response on the inside is you gotta throw the elbows, cover up, but try to keep it as a boxing match where you want it. So you want it where your strong suits are, right? So if I got the reach advantage, that's where I'm gonna try to keep him on the outside. But if he comes in, he's gonna want to be on the outside.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. You touched on it a little bit the other day, but to capture this interim championship, and obviously you would hope set up for the world title shot. What would that mean to you, man, this early into your dirty boxing career?
Man, a lot of people don't know this, but my little brother passed away last year, New
Sorry.
Year's Day, and there's the same year that I got signed to Dirty Boxing, and before my first fight, I went to my brother's gravesite, and I told him like I'm gonna bring this belt to you no matter how long it takes. So it's just full. It feels like it's just full circle. Like it happened a little bit sooner than I thought it was gonna happen, but I knew that was always gonna be the case. Well, at least for me, like I don't know how long it was gonna take, but I knew that I had to make that because I already promised that to my brother.
Obviously, you don't need extra motivation to punch a guy like Rob Perez in the face, but it sounds like you definitely going into this thing with a little bit of something extra.
Correct. Because I had already, like, regardless of who was gonna be in front of me, that's something that I had already said I was gonna do.
Absolutely, man. Just take us through because it is. I mean, I understand you said you got to get in the ring with him, but he says some things like it's almost like he's downplaying you. He says you don't belong here. Um, do you think he's overlooking you, and is that the biggest mistake he can make?
That is his biggest mistake, but that's okay. Like I said, I mean, it's only going to be his downfall at the end of the day. That's cool. Like to me, it does not bother me whatsoever if people underestimate me, because I feel like that's how it's been every single fight that I've gone. Like last minute calls, pretty much like a feeling like, okay, we're gonna beat this fool up, and they end up getting knocked out. So it's nothing. It's nothing. How to explain it? It's nothing new to me, but I mean, it's just gonna fucking affect. It's gonna affect him at the end of the day.
I'm sure Miami is going to have a ruckus crowd. He has a huge fan base. Are you prepared for hostile territories? Do you not even hear the crowd when you're fighting? How does that go in terms of the way you
Uh,
approach it?
Honestly, I'm blind. I'm blind, man. So once I take this shit off, it's like tunnel vision for sure. I just see the person in front of me, and that's it. Like it's literal tunnel vision. So all I hear, regardless if they're rooting for me or against me, shit, it's all noise. At the end of the day, I'm just focused on the person in front of me.
What does Michael Garcia has to do to bring home that interim championship April 10th, brother?
Stay focused on my game plan. Stay disciplined. That's the main thing. Stay disciplined under pressure, because we know that he's gonna come in with a lot of pressure. I'm not downplaying his power. I'm not downplaying none of that. So I know like he could downplay me as much as he wants. My elbows, that's all right, but I'm not doing the same. So I'm taking it as a serious fight. So when he's coming in, it's just stay calm and composed under pressure, and work on what we've been working on.
How do you feel you have adjusted and improved from fight one to fight two, now headed into fight three?
I feel like my boxing. I'm gonna show a little bit more of my boxing skills for sure, because like I've never really had a full fight camp till this is gonna be the first time I had a full fight camp.
That's got to feel different for you, bro.
It does. It feels good for sure. Feels a lot more confident. A lot more confident.
Without a doubt, man. Well, look, you get 5 rounds to beat up on Rob Perez and vice versa. I cannot wait for this fight, man. Best of luck to you, Michael. Anything before I let you
Thank
go,
you.
brother?
No, that'll be it, bro.
All right, I appreciate your time, man. Good luck, brother.
All right, bro. Thank you.
All right, bro. Wolf, what's good, big man?
How you doing, brother, man?
Everything's good, bro. How about you, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. All glory to God.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You are 3-0 in this company. What does it mean to you to be such an intricate part and play such a pivotal role in the organization in this infancy stages so early in?
Man, I'm just trying to help lay down the foundation and show that DBX is the next big thing. It's gonna surpass BKFC. It's gonna surpass the UFC without a doubt. And man, I'm just having fun, man. I don't go into this with any pre-notions or expectations, man. I'm just in there just doing what I love to do, what I'm blessed to do.
April 10th, man, you fight Michael Garcia for this interim title. You said he can keep the belt. You'll give him the belt. You just want the pain. Talk to us about it, bro.
Man, cause like I said, man, he could had a belt. I mean, the belt means shit to me. It's the legacy you leave behind, man. That belt is gonna tarnish. That belt is gonna wear and tear after a couple years, man. What matters to me and what matters the most is that I leave a statement that I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers in the combat sports. And that's what I'm here to do, is just entertain and bring the pain.
No, absolutely, man. And look, I was gonna say that a lot of people are bark and no bite. You provide both. How early into this fight do you plan on making Michael Garcia regret taking this fight?
Oh, first hit. First hit, man, he's right off the rip, he's gonna realize that he fucked up. He should have never took this fight, and he should have stayed his ass home in California.
To be able to fight for Malki Kawa and Mike Perry and just listen to the conference call the other day, there's no censorship on you. To be able to say what you want to do, obviously you got to get in the ring and back it up. But how important is that for you to just be able to be you?
Oh man, it's one of my I feel like that's why I'm so successful, because there's no facade, there's no fake. I don't pretend to beat a wolf. Like I just told the last guys, man, I swear I need to go see a psychiatrist, because I may have, split personality disorder. The wolf lives inside me, and the fact that I'm able to let him out is a blessing, and let him do his thing inside of a structured ring, get paid for it, and not get arrested, man. That alone is just is the icing on the cake.
So the Wolf is the guy when the switch goes off in the ring. What is Rob Perez like outside of the ring? What are some of the things people will probably be a little surprised about you to hear?
Yeah, man, I'm a God-fearing man, you know. I'm on a new path, a new journey, you know, getting closer to God. You know, and a lot of people don't expect that, you know, because the way the wolf talks and whatnot. But you know, nobody perfect. You know, that's why Jesus died for us. That's why he died for our sins, you know. You know, it's just you know, it's the learning process. So you know, but me, I'm just a humble man, you know, about my children, you know, about my wife, my grandma, my family, you know, church on Sunday, and then we go eat dinner at grandma's house. You know, I'm just I'm an average dude, really, you know. When April 11th, when I fly back on the plane back to Massachusetts, man, you know, the wolf gets shut down and he goes dormant until they need him again.
What do you feel you have to do to take that flight back to Massachusetts with a win under your belt and be 4-0, brother?
Man, I don't have to do anything. I've been doing it since December, you know. I train hard and fight easy. And that's why I've been so successful. You know, I'm not too big on, you know, studying my opponent because, you know, that's when overthinking gets involved. I just make sure I'm conditioned, I'm trained, and I'm skilled, and then I'm ready to do what I gotta do when the first bell rings.
How does training for DBX and this discipline differ or similar to training for any other combat sport that you've been involved?
It doesn't. I do the same thing. Maybe excuse me. Maybe one day, you know, I'll get an MMA coach or an elbow because my coach is strictly boxing. You know, and that's the difference between me and Michael Garcia. You know, he's out there learning how to box. Like my coach is like a purebred boxer, boxing trainer from Ghana. He trained Ike Corte, and you know, yeah, that says it all. You know what I mean? You know, so the same training that Ike was doing is the same training I'm doing. Um, you know, and yeah, there's just nothing different from DBX to boxing, man. I just, you know, an elbow come out of somewhere, then it comes out, but you know, maybe down the road that I'll take more elbow, you know, classes or whatever you want to call it, or get an MMA coach to teach me more elbows. But man, if it ain't broken, why fix it, you know?
And when you're learning from the guy that trained the bazooka, man, it's
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing, man. It really is.
Um, the cliche question is: are we going to need the judges? Is it going to go the distance, 5 rounds? I won't ask that. I would just say, in the perfect world, how does this fight end for Rob Perez?
Man, this fight ends in a bloody ass war, man. I hate training hard and like let's take the my last fight with Alex Nicholson. Man, I was so disappointed. Man, call me crazy, but I like getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not gonna go in there and let him just beat up on me. But if I ain't coming out there with no stitches and no closed eye, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I earned it. You know, I'm definitely a sick individual, visual, and I'm waiting for the motherfucker that I come across that knocks me cold out. Like I'm waiting for that. Like I genuinely can't wait to feel like what it feels like to be knocked out cold, laying down, eyes rolling. Like call me crazy, I don't care, but I'm looking forward to that moment. And until that moment happens, man, they gotta earn it. They gotta earn it, and they better bring it.
Well, I'm here to call you crazy, brother, but it's a good crazy because it entertains us. Best of luck to you, big man, and I hope
Thank
we
you.
talk afterwards, bro. Anything before I let you go?
Man, just hey, everybody, tune in April 10th, Miami, Florida, at the James L. Knight Center. You don't want to miss this. Shout out to my sponsors, man. And the Wolf gonna bring back the belt to the 508. Oh,
Can't wait for it, brother. Good luck to you, my man,
thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
for sure. All right, Malki, happy belated birthday, brother. How's it going,
I
man?
appreciate you. Thank you for that, person. Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt, bro. On the conference call, Malki, you could not hide your excitement for this card, DBX6.
hmm
You said this will definitely be the best one to date. What is it about this card specifically that just stands out for you?
I got proven guys on the card. The main event, co-main event, Milos Janicic. I got the Korean hip hop. I mean, we literally brought, in my opinion, some of our best fighters and put them on this one card for this one night. I don't know if we did it on purpose. You know, my matchmaker AJ Arioso, I give him a lot of credit. My cousin Primo, his name is also Malki. He sits in the room with him, and we get in there. My brother Abraham, right? They will come down there. So we have a room in my office, right? There's one of the offices at first round, and literally they're all in there, and they just go over all these different fights. And then here I come, and it's like, oh, we got to do this fight. And I don't know if I like that fight, but when you sit down and look at what they're doing here, it's unbelievable.
No, absolutely, man. What has been the growth in terms of where you feel as a CEO you've grown from DBX1 now heading into your sixth event?
Say that one more time.
What has been the growth in terms of you being a CEO from DBX1 until heading now into what's going to be a sixth event?
Well, I mean, listen, the growth has been, has been exponential. I think you can tell if you just go back and look at all our shows from the first one to this one, it grows by almost 50% almost every single time. And so when you got that type of growth, you're headed in the right direction.
No, without a doubt. And your main event guys make it easy on you as a promoter. If anyone who was on that conference call, I mean, they were going at it. You could hear the violence through the phone. Yeah. How important, and I talked to Rob about this yesterday, how important for you to not censor a guy like that, to let him be him and talk all this shit and do that? How important is that, bro?
You know, I'll tell you what, it's actually interesting because a lot of people nowadays in this woke era of doing business are afraid to like let people just be themselves. And I learned from the greatest promoter, in my opinion. You know, I think there's only a couple of them out there. You know, Don King is one, and I think Dana White's got to be put up there. And the one thing I learned from Dana, I've had a lot of clients that have said some crazy things in the media. I've had some clients do some crazy things personally, just in general. And I've watched him let them be themselves. No matter how dumb it is, no matter how stupid it is, they'll get, that guy was an idiot for saying this. This guy's dumb for doing that. Yes, we're going to, we'll reprimand them. We'll do what we got to do. But he never has ever told me to ever tell a guy, hey, don't say this or don't do that. Does that make sense? So for me, I'm going to let the wolf be the wolf. I'm going to let Michael Garcia be Michael Garcia. It's your choice as a fan to go to support one or the other. And so that's kind of for me what I think is the secret recipe to this fight stuff. I'm not manufacturing fake beefs. The wolf is who he is. He doesn't care who he's fighting. He's going to disrespect you. He's going to talk shit to you. Michael Garcia is going to sit there. He's a professional and he's an assassin. He's not going to talk much, but he's going to let you know, I'm coming for you, bud. Like, we're going to see all this talking you're doing now. You're going to have to pay for it Friday night. So for me as a promoter, absolutely, this is a dream come true. You know what I mean? This is the type of guys you want in a main event selling the fight.
No, absolutely. And you have the best seat in the house, man. I'm kind of envious of you. But when the situation with Rosenstrike happened, Biggie Boy got in a situation, was it immediate that you guys felt the interim title needed to be created? Was it more of a process? What was the thought behind putting this interim title for the heavyweight belt together?
I mean, listen, here's the deal. We were hoping to maybe do the Wolf versus Rosenstrike and then maybe Michael Garcia versus Rosenstrike. When Rosenstrike was out, that was the number one and number two heavyweight for us in our internal ranking. So for me, it was like, put them together, let them have the interim belt. Whoever wins this one will fight Rosenstrike if he can. If Rosenstrike can't fight, that guy will become the actual linear heavyweight champ, and then we'll just put the next guy up and keep moving from there. If you look at our cards, the Korean barbecue, he's on this card as well. He won his last fight. If he wins this next fight, he might have a shot for a title, for a title shot. So for me, it's all about what these guys do in the ring, and then how we reward them with these title shots and these opportunities. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I thought we needed to put, these guys in a title fight. I think you see that being in a title fight has made it that much more serious. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys sling that leather this Friday. I'm sorry, next Friday.
Yeah, no doubt. We see there's still a amazing amount of great fights put on, Malki, but we see a lot of stalling. We see guys that kind of do a safety first style of fighting. How important was it for you to create an organization where all the rules are set for the fights to be entertaining and exciting?
There was the whole thing. It was our whole business plan. It was our whole model. There was no argument, no debate, no nothing. This is what it was. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get into something where we know what to see. When you look at businesses in general, right? Coca-Cola came out, Pepsi said, hey, I'm going to do something like them. And then everybody else has tried to do stuff like it, right? But if you don't differentiate yourself, if you don't taste better, if you don't, you're not really going to be able to compete. So when I looked at it, it's like, all right, we're going to be a fight company. We knew that, right? But I'm not copying the rest of these people. I want to do something that tastes better. I want to do something that, you know what I mean? The fans don't have to sit. I hate going to fights and sitting there for hours and hours and going through a bunch of boring fights just to get to the one fight that might be exciting. For it to be so boring that it's like I felt like I wasted my money. And so for me, it's super important that the fans get that experience of, wow, holy shit, like what am I looking at right now? That dude got knocked. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Things like that. Those moments to me are more important than anything else. And so that's kind of the package we're trying to deliver to the fans, whether they're watching on YouTube or whether they're in the actual arena.
You also lit up at the conference call when you were asked, who can we be on the lookout for? And you lit up when you talked about Montavious Ware. What is it about that kid that just, look, you smiling just thinking about him. What is it
Yeah, he's
about
just,
him?
you know, so I didn't know much about him when I was in Nashville when we did that fight. He was a local fighter. He was just supposed to be a guy that came on a card and, just local guy, right? So sell some tickets and hope we get some fans in there that scream his name or whatever it might be. And this kid was going against the guy that was a damn good fighter. And Montavious Ware finished him and made it look easy. And I was just like, wait, what? And the style of fight and the speed and the accuracy and the way he was boxing was just so damn good that Andre Berto looked at me and said, yo, that's the guy. And I said, you don't got to tell me twice. I like to think I have an eye for talent. You know, I represented a lot of GOATs in MMA before they
Absolutely.
became champions and stuff like that. This is no different for me. I'm looking at guys, I'm thinking, okay, Montavious, the Wolf, Montavious Ware, these guys have the charisma, the ability, the fighting style. So Montavious Ware is a young fighter that I look at and I say to myself, if he continues on this path, this kid could become the face of this company.
Wow. That's
And
big
by the
time
way,
for
listen,
you.
and as a promoter, I'm not saying that that's set in stone. I'm just telling you that based on what I saw, if he can do it again this next time, and then do it again the next time, and do it again the next time, right? It starts to become hard to deny when you start building up a following because of, like, he made us instant fans simply because of his fighting style. Now, the guy he's going against next Friday is no pushover. That kid's actually pretty tough and really damn good. He could finish Montavious, and guess what? I look like an idiot for saying he could be the guy, but for right now, the way he fights, I just think that he's a tremendous fighter, and I think that he's got opportunity to be really great in this rule set.
For sure, for sure. For anyone watching DBX6 and it's their first time watching DBX, what can they expect next Friday?
Fireworks. You're going to expect guys fighting. You're going to expect movement. You're going to expect guys coming in and actually just brawling. You're going to expect guys going for the finish. You're going to expect excitement. If you didn't do that, I let you down. And I'm not going to apologize in advance because I promise you we're not letting you down. This is going to be one of the greatest cards, top to bottom, right? We will finish earlier than what we're expecting, and I almost can guarantee you there'll be at least 70% of the fights that end in a finish. I'm hoping for more. So for me, I know that's a check that my ass better cash. But I think with the fight card, the way it's set up, these fighters are going to come through. I think the matchmaker did a phenomenal job making some very exciting fights with some very skilled fighters.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to you, Malki, man. I've been following you for a long time, and you've always done great things in the combat world. On the selfish side, don't forget about the Biloxi, Mississippi, New Orleans area.
No, we're coming. We're coming. No,
Okay.
listen, we're coming. Biloxi, Mississippi, something that we're definitely going to do. You know what I mean? That's, remember when we were doing the game bread stuff, that was one of the first places we went to outside of Miami. And that's a place that's on our list. I don't know what month exactly, but you can expect us to be in Biloxi very soon.
I can't wait, brother. Best of luck to you next Friday.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
The VIP crew with Vivek Wallace and Big P Percy Crawford.
The VIP crew.